When I said I was too tired, he threw his plate on the floor and called me useless. For the first time, I snapped. I told him I was his wife, not his servant, and that I couldn't keep sacrificing my physical and mental health while being treated like garbage.
I think it's a really good representation of people that go through things and then start to treat their partner different because of it. But it's on a long-term basis, or even just a day of, right? You have a bad day at work, you get fired from work, or you know what I mean? And then your life starts to, go downhill. How do you treat your partner after that?
Am I wrong for refusing to continue taking care of my husband after his accident left him disabled?
I didn't know what the question was going to be. Yeah, I was definitely going to have some pretty unhinged advice for what she needs to do. Wheel him into the parking lot and then leave. Let's see how grateful he'll be then.
Now his family is furious. They're saying I'm abandoning a disabled man when he needs me the most, and that marriage means staying no matter what.
If my side of the marriage is I have to stick with them through anything, then their side of the marriage is they have to protect me and take care of me at all costs. When you stop doing your side of the marriage, I don't have to continue doing my side.
I would get divorced over this.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Love Up for Debate. We're going strong. And before we get into today's story, hit that like and subscribe button. We just appreciate everybody that's been on board rolling with us so far. We ask that you just help continue us to grow. We're doing really, really well. So we love to see y'all on our page and growing and subscribing. Hit that like and subscribe button. And without further ado, we're going to get right into this story. Karushi, I will let you do the honors.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
I've been married to my husband for 8 years. About 3 years ago, he was in a serious motorcycle accident. He survived, but he suffered permanent injuries that left him unable to walk without assistance or return to work. For the first year after the accident, I did everything. I worked full-time, paid the bills, drove him to appointments, helped with physical therapy, cooked, cleaned, and managed the house. I barely slept, but I loved him and wanted to support him. The problem wasn't his disability. The problem was how he started treating me. He became angry and bitter. He insulted me over small mistakes, accused me of never doing enough, and constantly compared me to spouses online who had supposedly dedicated their lives to caring for their partners. If I came home tired from work, he'd call me selfish. If dinner was late, he'd complain. If I wanted to spend time with friends, he'd accuse me of abandoning him. I kept telling myself he was struggling emotionally because of the accident. I encouraged therapy, counseling, and support groups, anything that might help, but he refused every option and insisted I was the problem. Things reached a breaking point last month. After working a 10-hour shift, I came home exhausted. He demanded I drive across town to pick up food because he didn't like what I cooked. When I said I was too tired, he threw his plate on the floor and called me useless. For the first time, I snapped. I told him I was his wife, not his servant, and that I couldn't keep sacrificing my physical and mental health while being treated like garbage. The next day, I moved into my sister's guest room. I told him I'd help arrange professional care and continue contributing financially until he figured things out, but I would no longer be his primary caregiver. Now his family is furious. They're saying I'm abandoning a disabled man when he needs me the most, and that marriage means staying no matter what. Some of my friends agree, while others say I've already done more than enough. I genuinely feel terrible about his situation, but after years of being verbally abused and taken for granted, I don't think I can do it anymore. Am I wrong for refusing to continue taking care of my husband after his accident left him disabled?
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, like, I didn't know what the question was going to be. So,
Yes.
if it was, if she didn't get into like what she already did, yeah, I was definitely going to have some
Lots of things to say, right?
I was pretty going to have some unhinged advice for what she needs to do. But it seems like she's done kind of what I would have suggested. Actually, mine would have been worse. I would have been like, well, you can like wheel him into the parking lot and then leave. And let's see how grateful he'll be then, One thing I can't stand is somebody who does things out of like genuinely goodness out of their heart, and people who are not grateful for it, right?
Yeah.
I can't stand ungratefulness. I cannot stand lack of gratitude. And it's just, because nobody owes us anything. We don't deserve anything. Everything that you get is usually based on your decisions or how you treat people, or things that you've controlled to get to that point. And so It's unfortunate. The accident obviously is unfortunate, but it's not a golden ticket to like treat people like ill. And so the one thing I can't stand in a lot of these stories is like like the family getting, like, I'm not married to your family.
Right.
I don't give a shit what your family
Yeah,
says.
they don't need to get involved. Like,
Yeah.
who cares what they think and how they feel?
Yeah, I mean, and there's worlds where like their input may be like helpful or valid, but that's their son, so of course they're gonna like. My thing is, saying things like marriage is about like sticking through it no
No
matter
matter what.
Yeah, that's. I mean, what do y'all live in the 1970s, the
I know.
1950s? It's not that. It's not sticking through no matter what. You don't get to like abuse me, whether it's verbally, physically, mentally. You don't get to treat me like trash. You don't get to cheat on me. You don't get to, bully me, demean me. You don't get to mock me. You don't get to do any of those things, and I have to like eat it. That's not a marriage at all. Because
No.
if my side of the marriage is I have to stick with them through anything, then their side of the marriage is they have to protect me and take care of me at all costs. When you stop doing your side of the marriage, I don't have to continue doing my side. I mean, this is an agreement. It's a mutual
It is.
agreement.
You have a contract.
So, I mean, it's a pretty simple question. If she's asking, is she wrong? I don't think, again, unfortunate that he had the accident that he did. It sounds like she went out of her way and did everything that a wife should and would do. Again, I can't stand people who are ungrateful. That'll always be kind of like one of my biggest pet peeves. And I think that at some point, you have to take care of your own mental well-being. It's not on you to put that to the side for somebody. It doesn't matter who it is.
Yeah.
To put that to the side to be treated, badly. I don't know. I mean, I don't really have. This is pretty straightforward for me. I don't see a world where. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if there's an argument for, hey, sit there and take abuse.
No, not at all. When I read this, I kind of feel this way about a lot of things. I don't think that you should stay with somebody who, of course, is treating you poorly, even if they are disabled. They don't get a pass.
Yeah.
For that. And I apply that to many other things. I've said this before, and I feel very strongly about it. But any sort of like being a caregiver for anyone, such as like if let's say like your parents are older and they need someone to care for. If you have been terrible to me and like have abused me, I will not ever be your caregiver.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And I know like there are some people out there who just like put up with it.
Yeah.
And because they're just like kind people and like, oh, like this person needs me. And then they like just deal with the abuse. No, like it is okay to put yourself first.
Yeah.
You reap what you sow.
Yep.
Basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That is exactly how I feel about it. It might be an unpopular opinion for many people, I think, because I know some people just feel strongly about like caring for your loved ones.
Yeah.
But it's like if they treat you like shit, like they don't know.
Yeah,
like
old,
you're not getting anything from me at that point.
That old 1950s ideology where you got to stick with no, that's the whole reason women fought for freedom, is so that they didn't have to, like, when they were treated like this,
they can leave.
They could leave,
get out of there,
and get a job and be educated and don't have to have to stay in an unhealthy, and unhappy household, And especially if she's, voiced her opinions, and tried to communicate with him on this, if she's stressed kind of out everything, that it takes to like make the marriage work. Two people have to make it work. This is pretty straightforward for me. I don't know a world where I be like, nah, she should like stick it out, like take the abuse. You should make sure that he's happy, because he had an unfortunate event. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know. I think I think he's got to learn his lesson too, because it will be missed. It will be missed. There's no world where he goes into being cared for by some sort of random nurse or whatever, or some home, and or somebody has to come and visit him to feed him and stuff, and he's not sitting there missing like his wife, the girl, the woman who did it all for him, and
maybe that's what he needs for like a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I know it's like, of course, yes, this is straightforward, right? Like we've answered her question, but like, yeah, maybe let's get into that a little bit. I think maybe he needs to have somebody come care for him who like doesn't care about him. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not like saying he deserves to be abused or anything like that, but just somebody where it's like, it's just their job.
Yeah.
Like, here's your food, or like being in a home. I think sometimes people take their loved ones or their wives or their husbands for granted, and just need to be reminded, you know, like I think being in a home or in a different situation, it will make him, well, if he's a decent person anyways, it would make him realize like, oh, wow, like, I was treating her poorly, and I actually do appreciate like all of the things that she's done for me.
Well, the unfortunate part about that is that it has to go to the extreme for you to actually appreciate me.
No, and that's wild too.
My thing with this is,
I would get divorced over this.
Yeah, right. Well, that's my thing. My thing with this is, I'm not always in the market to like teach people lessons. Like there are times, obviously, where it's like, yeah, you need to learn from your ways, and you need to learn to be a better person. Like we obviously like sometimes we look at people and it's like, you just need to, like, somebody needs to punch you in the face, right?
Yeah.
Like obviously we're human. There are times we feel that people should get things that they deserve. I think it's the wrong way to look at things. Like obviously as humans, we're gonna just like naturally have that reaction when somebody cuts you off, or somebody does something wrong to somebody else, and you're like, yo, you deserve this or you deserve that. Obviously, not to shoot him any bail. Clearly, being disabled from whatever life he had previously, I'm sure is a mental drain and a mental strain.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a world where like that's probably pretty hard to deal with, and as time goes on, you probably get more bitter and bitter. It's not a path to treat people like shit. But
I could see it though, especially like if you can't walk on your own and things like that, you know, it's probably really frustrating having to depend on
I'm sure there's more of a, like, it's not like her, she becomes the punching bag to his own personal,
his life like changed drastically.
To his own personal kind of demons that he's now probably dealing with. And maybe there's a world where she does not like consider that, not to stay with him, but consider it to maybe try and get him help in that department.
Yeah.
Not as opposed to like.
She did mention that, like that she took into account the like the mental aspect of it.
Yeah.
You know, and that she's offered up different options, and he just refused.
Yeah.
So
and again, both people have to be willing. So, so I'm not in the market of saying like, hey, you need to learn your lesson and I'm going to teach it to you. I think it gets to a point where it's like, I'm just going to do this for me, and whatever happens, happens. Whether you learn your lesson or not, I would like you to become a better person, right? And treat people better and learn from that experience. But that's no longer my business. So it's about like, whenever I talk about like when I do say, hey, this relationship does need to end. It's always like an amicable thing, right? It's like, hey, listen, the way you behave, I'm not here to tell you, like, for me, it's wrong. And I think it's wrong, but it just doesn't work for me. So I need to remove myself from this situation, and we can end it amicably. You probably don't see anything wrong with the way you're behaving, and and I'm not here to tell you that you are wrong or it is wrong. You know what I mean? I'm just telling you that the way you behave hurts me, and I got to protect myself. So I want to end things. I want to end things for my own protection, and so that I can protect myself, protect my sanity. And it doesn't mean you're a bad person. It doesn't mean that I hate you. It doesn't even mean that you're wrong. It just means you're not for me.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong. Like, is he wrong? Yeah. If you're treating people bad, you're wrong. Right. But like, I'm not here to to tell you what's right and wrong. I'm just going to
Right.
tell you what works for me. This is wrong for me. So with that being said, if we end, I'm just looking for peace for me, because the problem is, if we end and or if I break up with you or if I divorce you, or if I leave you to fend for yourself, and I do it out of vindictiveness or bitterness, like, I'll never heal. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Yes,
you
that is
want to
so
leave,
true.
you don't want to do it out of like, oh, he needs to learn his lesson. Again, I know that's a human reaction, but I think it also hurts you in the long, or it's like, you know what I mean? Because what does
Yeah.
them learning their lesson look like? And do you really feel better after that, right? You know what I mean? And so you
Right.
always hear that when it's like somebody who gets retaliation on somebody for something they did, not even in a relationship, just like in general. And it's like, whenever you watch something and it's like somebody murdered somebody, right? And then you like go and kill them or kill somebody that they loved, right? You never feel better from it, right? Because it doesn't bring your loved one back. It
That's
doesn't bring,
very
you know what I mean?
true.
It doesn't bring you any sort of like soul. It's like, even because at the end of the day, usually, even if it's somebody you hate or don't like, you still have empathy usually, and you have sort of a conscience. So
Right.
seeing harm come to somebody who you loved or love, or even somebody who's just in general who may have wronged you, that still comes out. You still feel bad.
Yeah.
Like, we've watched movies where there's like a horrible person in the movie who treats everybody like just so bad, and then you hate him for half the movie, and then the movie will do this thing where it's a bunch of bad stuff happens to that person, or they dig into that person's past, and you see a bad thing,
Yes.
and somehow you flip. And now
You
you're
start
like,
to feel
you
bad
start
for
to feel
them.
even though this person
So
has done
weird.
like monstrous things.
Yeah.
They do this all the time. That's not just like when you're sitting down watching a movie. That happens in real life. Because that's just a representation of how we deal with, just people in general. Is like, bad things happening to people don't usually make us feel better.
Right.
Even if we wish it upon them, and honestly, wishing it upon them just kind of says a lot about your character. So I don't really move in the sense of like, the way I move is not like, oh, I hope this gets you back, and I hope you learn your lesson. I actually hope you flourish. I hope you grow from this experience and become a better person. Like,
Yeah.
that's better for humanity, and that's better for everybody, not for you to like be hurt also. And now you either become more of a vengeful person or more of a hurtful person, or you go out and hurt more people. Hurt people. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'd rather like, I'm going to do this, protect me. I'm going to leave you to protect me, but I hope you become a better person. I actually want good things to happen to you, because maybe you'll look at life differently, and I'm just not the person that's going to bring that to you. I know that sounds
love that.
better.
That is deep.
Listen, that is much easier said than done.
Yeah.
All right?
No, for
That's
sure.
not a normal way to look at, like, we don't typically react
But
that way.
imagine like how much more peaceful like your life would be
It's very
if you
peaceful.
did look
It's
at
very
things
peaceful.
that way.
It's very peaceful when you look at
Wow.
somebody and you don't want bad to happen. You actually are like, I hope you change. I hope something happens to you where you do become a better person, and not on
Yes.
my behalf. You know what I mean? I've already ended my relationship with you. I've protected myself. I'm good going forward. I don't need bad things to happen to you for my personal happiness. Because
Right.
if that's what does it, there's something wrong with me. And I need to then find some help. My happiness
That
should
is
come.
so good.
Yes, from my own, like the things that I find, solace in, and the way I find peace. And if you find peace by bad things happening to other people, you're probably also a bad person, right?
Yeah.
So it's just, or maybe not a bad person, but just, you probably need to do a little bit of internal growth as well.
Yeah.
So I don't think we should. It's a thing that we all do. And we're like, they deserve this and they deserve that, and they're bad, and we hope this happens to them, and they've been bullying everybody, and they deserve to be punched, and they deserve that's normal human stuff. But most of us should really, like, for humanity, just want the people who are doing bad to actually grow and stop doing bad. You right? You know
Right.
what I mean? So
Absolutely. Oh, I love that take.
that's how I look at things. At least I try to, right?
Yeah.
I try not, like, I don't wish bad upon people. Well, there might be like one person in America that I wish bad on. Okay. And we won't get into that, but we all know him, right? But other than that, and even in that wouldn't probably like actually make me feel good. Like, take Charlie Kirk, for instance, right? A lot of people didn't like him.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, I don't want to make this political. And And I think he
But it's
did
a good example.
yeah, and I think I think he did a lot of harm. But like, nobody wanted to see, besides the crazy people on TikTok. I get it. And I think those are horrible people.
Yeah.
But normal people, normal, rational people, even a lot of people that disagreed with them came out and they teared up over it, or they were really upset about it, because at a normal human, like on a normal rational level, you don't really want bad things to happen to people unless you're like Hitler or something, you know what I mean? And it's like, all right, you know what I mean, you over here genociding, you know, that's a whole different monster. But on a regular, you know, everyday dealing with people, yeah, normally if we see something like that happen, we feel pretty empathetic.
Yes.
And then you still think, and then you think about, regardless of how you felt about him, like he has kids.
Yeah. You're thinking about the people who are affected.
Yeah,
by
right.
it.
So it's like, it's not just them that pay it's not just him that pays the price, right? It's the other people that surround him. So, you know.
And then you like put yourself in like their shoes as well. And that's really where that empathy starts kicking in. Because then you're like, oh my gosh, like what if that were like my family or like my brother or my father, you know, like. Yeah,
exactly.
so.
And we ride, and if it was your brother or your family or your girl or whoever it is, regardless if they're wrong or right, we ride for them because we love them. Doesn't matter. So you have to think of in those terms as opposed to, you know, I just don't like that person. It's like, well, other people do. Anyways, I hate to serious it out on that level. It just kind of, when you said about like, people need to learn their lesson. Do they? Yeah, probably. So they'll become better people.
Yeah.
But like, I don't wish
but
that.
you don't have to be like the one to teach them the lesson.
That
like
doesn't have to be. Yeah. She
Yeah.
did what she was supposed to do. She left to protect her happiness and her peace. Nobody can tell you you're wrong for that. You have to do that for you.
But even doing that though, like, well, you would think that he would learn his lesson from it, but that is essentially getting the ball rolling, you know, because like there are consequences to your actions. So it's like if you mistreat your wife, she leaves you, you know, like even if you don't learn the lesson then.
Sure. Yeah.
Like at some point, like even later on down the road, like she left you. Yeah. Like there was that consequence.
There was a consequence.
That you know, so.
That's all that happens. And listen, if you, I don't need you to feel like, oh, I lost something good. I know you lost something good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think highly enough of myself to know that I was the best thing that happened to you. And so I know you lost something good, whether you see it or not. That's good enough for me.
Yeah.
I don't need you to feel horrible tomorrow. Like, again, sometimes
that's big.
You want them to feel it, for sure. I get that. That is normal human behavior, but it's not healthy.
Yeah.
And it's not a good way to get over something or to deal with, you know, this type of issue. The best way is do it for yourself. Make sure that you're protecting your own self, and it's not based on, you know, the consequences of that somebody else receives.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. Oh my goodness. I feel like we learned something really good today, everyone.
Yeah. It's a good way to move. I promise you. And you'll treat people better, and you'll do it just because it's good for your soul. Yeah. You know,
that's so important.
It's good for your soul. And, hopefully he does learn his lesson. Like, we get to say that because it ain't happened to us. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, we'll do it for you.
Absolutely.
But I don't think family coming in and saying, you know, the whole family dynamic is like, once you start talking about, his family thing, of course they do. And it doesn't matter if they don't. It doesn't matter who doesn't. There are a lot of things, like I've been in situations where the public did not know the truth behind everything, or they weren't in the situation, or they didn't handle it, or they didn't deal with it. Everyone is a hypocrite, okay? All of y'all are hypocrites. We are all hypocrites. We talk about what we do in a situation, even though when that situation has occurred for us or would occur for us, we wouldn't even behave in the way we swear we would or tell people how to behave, okay? So if somebody was sitting there doing all types of stuff for somebody and that person was treating them bad, most of the people that tell you, oh, you should stick with it, wouldn't do it themselves. They wouldn't do it themselves. Hell, they might not even do the things that you were doing to even begin with, right? So, people's opinions when it comes to stuff like that is like, if you aren't experiencing this and you haven't dealt, you bring it to me if this happens to you and you stuck through it. Then, we can have a discussion on why and how, what was the outcome of that. Other than that, I don't want to hear from people that are rocking with him already or on his side. That doesn't move the needle for me. So I said it to say, like, other people's opinions on something that they haven't experienced or are not part of, like I take it with a grain of salt. Maybe I'll talk to somebody who I kind of trust their advice because they're mature about things and they have, good emotional awareness and intellectual stability and so forth. But other than that, I mean, yeah, I'm not listening to your like late grandma.
Not the
What are
late
we
grandma.
talking about? Yeah,
Also, I kind of feel like when family gets involved sometimes, especially in a situation like this, it's almost like I feel like subconsciously they're thinking like, no, she needs to take care of him because he's probably going to end up falling on one of us.
That could be it. That could be true.
You know what I
Yeah, there
mean?
could be some personal
It
personal
really could be
bias
like
in there for sure.
like, no, honey, like
Yeah.
through
We don't want
thick
him.
and thin, you married the man, you got to stick it out till death.
Yeah,
till
and
death do you part.
it could be either intended or it could be subconscious.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
you know what I mean?
It's
Like,
they need to
yeah.
really sit with themselves. Like,
No, you got a point.
I feel like at least someone in that family is
Yeah.
definitely thinking like, if she doesn't take care of him, oh my God, like
Yeah.
one of us is gonna have to dedicate our lives
for
to
sure,
caring for him.
sure. Oh yeah, and to finish what I was saying, like I've been in situations where the public did not know the extent of the situation, and everybody had an opinion on it.
Oh yes.
You know what I mean?
Oh
And it's
yeah.
like,
People
I
and
don't
their
even
opinions.
owe it to y'all to like, we talk about it all the time. Normalize not explaining yourself to people who
Yes.
don't matter.
Oh, he's taught me so well because I used to over explain.
No, I don't owe you an explanation. This is what it is. If you're somebody, no, don't get me wrong, somebody you're in a relationship with that you love, somebody that you care about their
That's very different.
reaction or their advice or their personal like feelings, that's different. Yes,
Yeah.
explanations are absolutely warranted, but the rest of y'all don't get an explanation. You can feel how you
Yeah.
feel. You can say how you want. It's like it's not going to change or move the needle for my actions or my behavior, unless it's somebody again that I respect and that I trust, and I'll ask you if I want your opinion.
Yeah.
The rest of y'all can kick rocks.
I can't stand when people try to like give me advice when I didn't ask for it.
Yeah, because
Oh my
I
God,
make
my
better
biggest pet
decisions
peeve.
than 98% of y'all, right?
Yes.
And the 2% that make better decisions than me, I keep them in my circle. So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's
Of
like,
course.
and I learn from them, and I continue to receive their guidance, even though they don't know they're guiding me. But other than that, yeah, again, most people, we see it all the time, especially when it comes to social media. They are in things that they don't. Number one, again, that they don't even have a good opinion on, and they don't even have full information to give a good opinion on it, even if they were to give good advice. So, the family, they like, you're asking us if you're wrong. It don't matter. It don't even matter if we think you're wrong or right. Like at this point, like
Yeah.
do what makes you happy, as long as you're not causing, destruction to the world.
Absolutely. Because your mental health should come first, like
Yeah.
1000%. I feel like that's very important.
Mm-hmm.
And that's for like anyone who's like in a caregiver situation as well. I think we just put our all into people, even our kids, right?
Yeah.
Like, and forget to take care of ourselves first. And set boundaries.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For your husband who is solely depending on you to like not want you to hang out with your friends and
Yeah.
to like guilt trip
yeah.
you, making you feel like you're abandoning him. And
Yeah, well, I got to
like-
care about your well-being, and you don't care about mine. No, that's not how this works.
It's truly so sad. Like if
Yeah.
I were in that situation, I would just be so grateful that
Yeah.
you are dedicating your life to
Yeah.
now caring for me, who I
Yeah.
can't do anything really for myself. Like I don't know.
Listen, again, and to just not to sound redundant, but I understand a world where like that attack somebody, especially if it's somebody who was like successful and got around and was active, and that was a big part of
Yeah.
their life, right? Like I could understand there being some mental issues, going for, but that's on you to fix. That's on you
Yes.
to work through. You don't get to treat the people around you like
do
trash
not.
because you are going through it. Those are the people that you should those people should get the best treatment from you because they're in your corner still, even after going through. Those are the people that stuck by you. as opposed to everybody else that might have dismissed you once you know what I mean? The friends that don't call anymore because you can't hang out and, you know, you can't get out the house, or the friends that don't come by and check on you because you have this disability, right? Those are the people that, you know, you might want to gear that anger towards. But the people that are taking care of you, like I said, I know the person closest to you can easily become a punching bag. We all do it when we're in bad moods. And the person that's closest to us that we care about, we just like, they do something that's not even remotely, you know, bad. And we are like immediately just like, oh, I'm already mad. So you're gonna, you know, I'm gonna exaggerate this. I know that's a normal human thing, but like on a long-term basis, consistently doing that, you know, it's not okay. It's not right. And, you know, anybody has the right to leave that situation. Married, not married. Yeah, we got to chill on all that. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's normalize like not sticking it out with people who treat us like shit. Please. Like, I don't care what your religion is. I don't care like what your viewpoints are.
Yeah.
If you're a ride or die type of girl or guy. No, like it is okay to leave, a relationship, a marriage, even, etc. Like you come first at that point if they're going to treat you poorly. And
mental health is everything.
It's
everything. Protect yours. Protect yourself.
Yeah.
I don't have much more for this.
Well, on that note,
easy enough.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, shoot. Other than that, we appreciate you guys hanging out. Tell us your advice or tell us your opinions and thoughts on this. I think it's a really good representation of things that can happen. Obviously, not everybody goes through disabilities, but people that go through things and then start to treat their partner different because of it, whether it's on a long-term basis or even just the day of, right? You have a bad day at work, you get fired from work, or you know what I mean? And then your life starts to, you know, go downhill. How do you treat your partner after that, right? And I think it's something to just look at internally and look at like over the course of because that can go bad and go south really, really quick. You know, don't forget what your you know, don't forget the importance of your partner and what they can mean in terms of like they could be your support or they could be, you know, gone. So other than that, thank you guys for hanging out. Love up for debate. We will see you on the next one. Hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already, and we appreciate you. We'll see you on the next one.
Yes. Bye, guys.